Hey, welcome back. We're going to be playing some more Kenshi today and continuing where we left off last time. This time we're going to be trying some more stealthy things using our Clandestine servants guys. We got Lars and Cyberdax. Cyberdax is the one with the mechanical legs and arms. We're going to be taking them out and trying to capture some more of the slaver bosses. Last time, if you missed it, we had taken out the army from Wayfort, gone south after they had attacked us with their slavers. And we counterattacked and took out Slave Mistress Grace and threw her and her elite guards in the slammer down south at Waysters. And this is back at the hub, and this is actually the office of the Clandestine Services here. Just showing off some of the costumes. Basically, we keep a bunch of costumes from any faction that we end up killing or finding knocked out. We'll grab their costume and throw it in the Clandestine Service office, so if we ever need a disguise, we have it. So we have a little bit of everything in there. However, Cyberdax cannot wear a complete costume, as that's one downside of having all robotic limbs as a humanoid. So we need Lars again, as he can wear costumes as one of the perks of not having any robot limbs, or at least 2 robot limbs. If you have one, you can still do it. But we're going to grab a slave trader's outfit, something with enough parts to give me a full disguise. And it looks like we'll have to use this version of the slaver's outfit. This is a little more prominent in the north by the hub where we are. You don't see this costume as much down south, but I think they're still allied, as most all the slavers guilds are allied with each other. So the idea in this episode is we're going to take Lars and Cyberdax down to some of the other slave camps and see if we can capture some more of their head honchos and just kind of avoid having to take an entire army there to take down everybody inside, basically, to capture that one lead person. Instead, we're going to use some stealthy stuff, some clandestine service tactics of disguise, and being stealthy and getting in there and grabbing the people. Might do some renditions and lock them away. So first we're going to stop by the slave place we hit last time. This is where Slave Mistress Grace was. Just making sure everything's actually destroyed. It looks like it is. I don't see any slaves left over. It's only a day ago, but it looks like the game's updated. So it did in fact work. Taking out Slave Mistress Grace destroyed them financially and took away the slaver economy, basically crumbling their entire faction down south to nothing. So that's also why we saw Clownsteady had been kind of ripped up too. So basically helped destroy the economy of the Traders Guild and the slavers, which are allied to each other. So I have an idea here too before I head out to the next mission, which I think we're going to be checking out the Manhunters, which are allied with the slave traders, and we kind of caught a glimpse of them last time as one of them rolled up on our front gate after we had machine gunned everybody down with our Gatling gun. So we saw some Manhunters come up and they're like, what's going on here? So we took that guy out too, but I know that there are another faction of slavers in the vicinity, pretty close to us, so we can go over there and see if there's anybody key we can take out here in a little bit. In the meantime, though, I'm going to switch my costume here to the slave traders, and let's go in and say hi to Slave Mistress Grace and see if we can trick her into thinking that a slaver is keeping her prisoner, as I think she was knocked out when we came here originally. I'm not sure if anything's going to happen, but I'm just kind of curious in seeing if disguises also work when you talk to people in prison. So now she just says the same thing. She talks a little bit about Igor. Now, Igor is actually the United Cities chief of the army or military commander. So I'm not sure why she's talking about him, as they're not really the same faction, but I guess they're so closely allied that the United Cities would normally send their allies in defense of the Slavers Guild. But that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to separate this Traders Guild and the slavers basically from the United Cities. We want to try to drive a wedge in between them, and then we'll become the allies of the United Cities, keeping them in good standing while getting rid of all the slavers in the United Cities in the south. So we got some work to do for sure. I'm in full disguise out here. I just got my Eagle's Cross and my Metal short sword, and then my regular costume and my backpack here. But I'm in disguise right now as a manhunter or slave trader, whatever you want to say. I guess allied in that faction. So here's some manhunters we came across, and we are headed out their way, actually. So they're fighting, it looks like, some outlaw farmers and their animals. So I figure we'll lend a hand here and see if we can kind of trick them into thinking I'm one of them. And maybe roll in as part of their army if they're heading back over to the Manhunters faction. Might be a little bit better than trying another way in if you go in with a group of them. So hopefully they'll open the gates for us when we get over there. So everybody who the cursor turns yellow over is a manhunter, and then these other guys here are the typical outlawed farmers from out in this area. Not part of the United Cities. They're just basically rebel farmers. And they're usually the type that cause trouble down at Wayfort too. So we definitely have no problem taking them out. At one time we tried to actually ally with the allied farmers, but it just kind of was impossible as they're always making trouble, killing everybody else. So we had to defend the way station basically, and then they just ended up being enemies of ours too. So helping out the manhunters in this case to get their trust is really no sweat off our back, as we're going to end up being enemies with both these factions anyway. A little extra experience here too. Getting some sword play in here finally. Looks like we're doing pretty well with our melee skill. But this outlaw farmer is actually keeping up pretty well too. Yeah, he's got a defensive bonus with his sword. Any of those horse choppers basically give you a defensive bonus and a offensive debuff. So, but my little crappy short sword, even though it's metal, the best one you can get, isn't exactly awesome stats either. It's kind of one of the more wimpy types of swords, but it's a pretty decent one-hander, especially being the metal version. But definitely I prefer katanas whenever possible, the broadswords. Let's back up here real quick and see if we can use our Eagle's Cross on some of these guys. Alright, let's back them up a little bit more, give us some more room here, and then we can support with ranged. Let's see, I guess we need to switch back on our ranged weapon. That would help. And see if we can get one off here before he gets close to the distance. Okay, he's already down. Looks like the manhunters are actually cleaning up these outlaw farmers pretty easily. I think they would have won even if I hadn't come along. We got one at range out there. Let's see if we can hit him with our Eagle's Cross. Bolts away. Damn, 156. These things hit so hard. It's a masterwork Eagle Cross, too. We try to pick them up from Mongrel whenever we're out there. We actually have some diplomatic people out there in Mongrel, so they can just hit the market and hit the robot limb market, too, even though we are making our own crossbows and our own robotic limbs at Peak Top Forge, which is right next, basically what the hub is now. We've basically annexed on the hub to our city, and it's all part of Peak Top Forge, but we still have a hub district and a forge district. So where you saw Clandestine Services, that was actually in the hub part of the district. All right, here we are outside of the Manhunters base, and I decided to kind of split off from the rest of the army as I seemed to be going the opposite way of where I wanted to go. So we maneuvered our way through the jungle, and here we are at their outpost. Looks like they have the gates drawn, so that's not going to be especially good for us. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted to do. Just committed a crime, basically, by hitting the gate there when I was trying to see if I could just open it. And -2, so hopefully that will go away. Okay. Let's see if we can back off here. We'll figure something else out. Wow, somebody just spotted us. I thought our ability to be disguised was based on our stealth, so I figured there'd be no way they could get us, but I guess being stealthy and crouching in sneak form after being, seen by the guards on the wall is probably a good way to get spotted. so definitely my fault there. I'm going to throw on our regular clothes as I can stealth better in these than with the slave trader's costume, which is probably giving me a penalty against stealth, where my regular outfit is kind of optimizing stealth and making it harder for the enemies to see me. So the idea is going to be, let's run back out into the jungle, give them time to cool down real quick. Maybe we can get our disguise back up, and we'll come back in a second when we're fully stealthed. And they're not looking right at us. The red indicator basically says that they can see us right now. So I'm trying not to get shot, because they do have, it looks like, some crossbows up on the wall. But we'll stay out in the jungle here for a second, and then we'll track back in just a moment and see if we can get in, maybe break in the gate when no one's looking. Okay, we're coming back real quick and headed to the gate in disguise. And let's see if we can do it without getting caught. Shit. Oh, you know what? Our stealth went down. I didn't notice that. Wow, these guys are really good guards. As my stealth was up at, I think, 100 with the bonuses. And they still were able to uncover me and shoot me in the leg. And my leg's pretty critical, too. So I'm going to go ahead and try to take cover here and not get shot again. So hopefully the architecture of the wall here will keep me cover. And I do have a splint kit, and I do have medical supplies, so I'm losing blood pretty quick here. So let's patch ourselves up real quick, and then we'll see if we can throw our disguise back on, and we'll try getting in that way. These guys are kind of hyper aware of everything going on outside. I didn't realize that it was going to be this hard to get in with Lars having such high stealth. Now we have a little bit of a penalty, though, since we got shot in one of the legs, and that does affect your stealth. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful here. I'm going to split myself up, too. That might help a little bit. Let's see how bad it is. Yeah, we lost about 26 points. Actually, more than that, because we have... yeah. Well, 26 effective points, basically, is what we lost by getting shot in the leg. So our stealth is kind of mediocre now. I'm going to try to open the gate on the opposite side, and I've kind of hugged the wall all the way around so no one could shoot me, and hopefully no one could see me. But we need to sneak in here real quick. Now, last time I checked, too, our disguise was blown, and we had some time on it, so I think after the timer counts down, we can go ahead and switch that back out. But let's check real quick how our slave trader costume is. And this slave trader should be factional allies with the manhunters, which are also basically a slave guild, as I know my stuff correctly. All right, we got our costume back on here. And let's see if we can update here with a disguise, because we've got to take it off pause. Still shows 47 seconds, so I'll go and wait 47 seconds out here. And when the timer's up, we'll go and trot in. All right, 47 seconds later, our disguise is back up. So we should be good. Let's take a look around here, and hopefully we won't have our cover blown so easily a second time by some of the guards. So I'm going to try to stay out of the visibility of anybody on crossbows, just in case. But I don't think anybody who's just a regular townsperson here is going to be able to see through our disguise. The only other time I've had disguises blown is when you're basically around a faction leader or someone really, really high level. Sometimes the disguise will get blown then, too. Alright, I'm here in the shop, and I'm just looking to see if there's any market or any traders, if you're in disguise as a slaver, if you can take advantage of it. But I don't see anything. It looks kind of just, like placeholder stuff for the most part. But looks like we got a couple other houses here. Doesn't look like anything for sale. Just kind of curious if there's any of these buildings you can buy up. If you wanted to have like a contingent of covered people. Now I heard a crossbow bolt going on, so I'm not sure if the manhunters are getting attacked. I don't see any bolts coming my way, but I probably want to take cover just in case they are shooting at me and not at someone outside of the base. Alright, so this looks like the faction headquarters. So if there was going to be a boss of the manhunters, they should be in here somewhere. Okay, I can't use the beds, unfortunately, as I could really use it right now with my leg being busted up. And I don't see anybody that looks like a leader here. A couple chests. We got some jail cells that looked empty. They don't have any prominent prisoners that we can try to rescue. And, alright, let's see. We got somebody here at the desk. Oh, that was red. Oh, wow. I guess those guys were shooting at me. These guards seem to be tipped off. But now they're, interesting. Now they're not red, and they're heading back out. So I guess my hiding behind this bed maybe was enough cover to get them off of me. I'm not sure. That's strange, but I'm going to have to watch out now. As I know that some of the guards up on the wall, even though I'm in disguise, I guess they still recognize the disguise or something like that from when they shot me in the leg the first time. We've got a couple other houses here too, and most of these kind of look like swamp houses that you'll see in Shark and some of the other small towns out in the jungle. And they got a lot of wandering people, so this must be roaming patrols. Basically, on some of the mods I have, when patrols come into town, they'll shop around and go to all the different huts and stuff. So I think that's what they're doing. I think they're just roaming patrols in town that are looking around. But it's a lot of guards, and I don't see any central leader. So I think this is going to be one we're going to have to do the hard way, and I'll probably have to come back with an army of some sort. We got Tor the Fearless, army of Shek warriors we can use. We also got the army at Wayfort and the Wind's army up at Peak Top Forge and the Hub. And we also have the army at the Green Keep, which I haven't shown you guys yet, but you'll see that in the upcoming series of Kenshi 365. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's basically going to be me playing Kenshi after having the characters develop for 365 days or 1 Earth year. And I just wanted to give a different take on Kenshi after basically you have your base established and have everything kind of set up. Just a different experience as kind of more of the late game we can explore instead of always seeing people play through the beginning part of the game. I intentionally left some stuff open to do in late game, so I figured it'd be kind of fun. But if you guys want to see some more of faction battles and stuff, I actually have a lot of recorded footage getting to 365 days. So I have faction battles versus the Cannibals, the Blood Reavers, the Black Dragon Ninjas, and some other factions. So if any of those sound of interest, let me know, and maybe I'll do another episode on those as I have a bunch of compiled data. So anyway, back to what we're doing here. So it looks like I was in this power station, and I got spotted again when I was running into the power station. I was thinking maybe of sabotaging their power somehow to see if we could take down some of these power generators, or to see if there's anything to steal, but they seemed to get me. So I switched my outfit out, and they spotted me after I did that, after I moved in. I was going to see if I could knock them out with my stealth. Hit them a couple times here. Let's try to dodge their attack. We're going to have to get out of town here, as it seems like the wall guards have been pretty much tipped off. They've seen me in my disguise, and so the ones that saw through it basically are not fooled when I put this disguise back on. Even when my disguise is not blown, it looks like they still are able to kind of see through my disguise. And then I'm also suffering a little penalty too with my stealth because of the leg shot they got me with. So that might have something to do with it. It might just be that my stealth is lower and that affects your disguise ability. But they're not having it. So I'm going to get out of town before I take some more shots from the crossbows on the wall, or the harpoons. Let's get out of here real quick. And I think we'll go ahead and hit another target with Lars. Give me a little time to patch up too on my way over. But I think we're going to go and hit another slave traders outpost instead of trying to hit the manhunters, as these guys seem organized a little differently, and there's not any traders guild association with the manhunters. So this is going to be more of a take an army and try to wipe them out situation. So we'll do that. I have plenty of armies. One at Wayfort. We got one over at the Hub and at Peak Top, and then I also have the Shek army of Tor the Fearless, which you probably guys saw in the first episode I had done here. Alright, we've got our disguise back on real quick, and we're still getting chased by that guard from inside, but instead of trying to fight him right here at the wall and attracting more attention, I think I'm just going to go ahead and take off back into the forest. I should be able to outrun most any of these NPCs, as my skills are pretty high as far as athletics go. 97 is real good. So even with heavy armor on, I should be able to outrun these guys, no problem. And I don't see any crossbows up on the wall, over on this part of the wall, so I'm going to go and jump into the jungle here, and then we'll see about hitting our next target. And if we can make some progress, maybe pick up a Traders Guild boss at one of these. There's a slave market up here, so that's where we're going to head to next, and we'll probably get there around nighttime. Alright, we are there. Our leg is still a little hurt, but we've just trekked through. We still got our slaver's disguise on. The northern slavers, though not the southern faction, but we should be allied, and so shouldn't have any problems. I know our faction relations with the Warriors of Winds, basically, and the slave traders are pretty rocky or bad. And we did pay 100,000 last time to repair the Traders Guild relations, just so we don't end up getting in trouble when we're in the United Cities and basically start a fight in front of people we're trying to stay allied with the Traders Guild, and then cause a split between us and the United City, so it was really more for that purpose than to try to be friends with the Traders Guild. Alright, we're just kind of curious. We're in the bar here. I want to see if there's anything interesting. This guy talking about Tin Fist, which I know is an anti-slaver, so basically a faction that's allied with us, though we haven't run into Tin Fist yet. Got somebody here called Headshot. That's interesting. So kind of a unique name. It might be a interesting character we could pick up. And Gecko, which I've seen a lot, so I think that's more of a generic drifter. But Headshot here might be interesting to talk to. They call me Headshot. Want to take a stab at why? I'm pretty sure it has to do with headshots. That's right. Shot a lot of heads. Slave heads, to be exact. Wow, what a creep. Alright, I guess I won't say anything. That's the only option I have. I don't lose sleep at night over it. Nah. Or do I lose sleep at night over it? Nah. Could say, you're a monster, which he really is. But I'll pretend like I want to hire him since I'm one of the slavers. So long as you put me behind a turret, I'm listening. What new skills, though? You want to pay the price tag. 7,500 cats for that guy. Nope. No thanks. Not to now, at least. I wonder, it says, hey, your loss. Well, he is a sociopath. Well, I'm out here by myself. I don't want to have to take care of somebody with no skill who's just going to get beaten up and end up being a ball and chain on my mission. And I haven't heard anything great about Headshot being some beloved character like a Beep or an Agnew. So we'll go and pass on him. Here's a noble's house, though. This is what we were looking for. So theoretically, there should be a noble inside, part of the Traders Guild is what we're looking for. And somebody dressed up in those fancy robes that we can rendition, or kidnap, basically, and take back to our prisons and execute. And that should take the finances away from these slave stations here, the slave market, hopefully, and put it out of business. That's the plan. So we could do what we had to do with an entire army with this one person here if we play our cards right. So we got to figure out how to break inside. And so the door is closed. I see them talking about Tin Fist over on the side there. They're talking about killing Tin Fist. But little do they know that we're about to take out their entire economy here in the next couple of minutes. So you won't have to worry about Tin Fist taking you out. You'll already be gone by the time he gets here. We're going to go switch our gear out into our stealth clothes, as this stuff is going to be better to break in. And even though I do have penalty to stealth still, I should have enough stealth, and it being night also gives me a bonus where I can break in through that front door without the guards noticing, is what I'm hoping for. Got to reduce my weight a little bit, so I'm just stripping out all the stuff that weighs stuff and throwing it in my backpack, which reduces the amount of weight I have, making me a little lighter and giving me a little more bonus in stealth. So let's sneak around here and see if we can just unlock this door here behind these guards. They're all looking towards the bar or into town, so I think we're going to be fine. I don't think any of them are going to see me breaking in. Okay, got it on the first try. Let's go ahead and pick the lock, and we'll sneak in here real quick. Wow, we just passed somebody there, but he didn't see us either. Okay, we are visible now, but I don't think anybody's going to turn around and look. And unfortunately, there's no way to turn these lights off, so we just have to get back into the shadows. Let's go ahead and head up the ramp here and see if we can find the trader's boss. Okay, we're back in cover, and take him out. Now, one thing I've noticed, I think, is when you come up into one of these noble houses to a certain point, you kind of automatically get sighted or get seen by the guards, even if you have perfect stealth. So it's some kind of alarm in these types of houses that just sets the guards off, and they know that you're in the house even if they can't see you. So even though our stealth is perfect right now, and they might have a hard time actually finding us, they know that someone's in the house who's not part of it, so you can see them running in. Intruder after them. Alright, our kidnap chance is 79%, and I found what looks like the leader of the Traders Guild for this town, and we successfully kidnapped them, and now let's see if we can get out of here and keep all our body parts and not die or get kidnapped by or taken out by the guards. So we'll just go ahead and make a break for it. That guy didn't see us. He walked right by us. Oh, and now they did catch us. They said kidnap. The alarm got raised. That means we probably already took a little faction hit right there, too. As they know who I am. I've definitely got recognized. So we got hit there. Let's see. We'll see what got hit exactly. Hopefully not our legs again. And let's get out of town real quick. We'll see if we can first aid ourselves. And just, I don't want to lose blood and pass out. Okay, it looked like it was our chest, so that's not the worst thing. And we still have 97 blood, so we're good. We're not going to pass out anytime soon. We could probably get out here a little bit further. But we will stitch ourselves up when we get a chance. Alright, I've been running for a little bit. I still got one of the guards behind me. The other one turned back. But I'm out here in the woods, and so come around here and let's see if we can use our Eagle's Cross on this guy. We've been hitting him a couple times, but he's we haven't hit him in the legs, I guess. But if we can get another couple of good shots on him, we might be able to slow him down enough so he can't catch us, or we take him out and kill him. There we go. We got a hit of 79 on him. Now it's kind of hard to see. It's kind of dark. But we just shot him with the Eagle's Cross in the dark. Let's go and disarm him real quick. Take all his gear off so he doesn't try to pursue us. Or if he does try to pursue us, he'll just miserably fail. We could just take him out with our sword. I don't want to risk getting hit and losing our prize here of the slave master. Alright, so we kind of went out the wrong direction. We're out in the east side of the town, so we need to kind of swing back around the other side as I want to head either to the hub to drop him off, or we might head back to Wayfort too and throw him in the prison down there. It's probably the quickest and best way to do it, is just to drop him off in the prison at Wayfort with Slave Mistress Grace and the other slave traders. We also have some of the traders' elite guards in there too, who we will eventually try to turn to our side, as we have the mod for making prisoners your allies, basically, with some work, or figuring out the right things to say to them. And they should make pretty good allies too, as they have really high stats. So see if we can convert them. So the reason I was stealthing there is I didn't want to get seen by anybody from the United Cities who might be in our town, or any of our mercenaries who might be allied with the United Cities. So even in my own town, I have to be kind of careful about who I let see me take Traders Guild prisoners into prison. And that's one of the reasons we have these smaller cells, and we have them, the doors always closed on them too. So someone doesn't recognize that we have Traders Guild prisoners and people allied with the United Cities, as we're down south, basically, where that faction is wandering around and occasionally does stop by our base here. So we're going to have to get rid of these guys here, or convert them in short order. Let's see what he has to say for himself. So this is called Slave Market Master. Kind of a generic guy. Not a diplomat, though, doesn't seem. I have a 5,000 bounty, too. Mark my words, you'll regret this, he says. Talk to him. Let me go, I'm begging you. Well, that's quickly... Oh, no, he is diplomatic status. Look, it says diplomatic status right above him. So definitely the right guy to have kidnapped, and that should effectively destroy that slave market, as we're taking out the money guy. I'm going to go and rest up here and get my legs repaired, and we'll see what we have to do about this bounty to get rid of that. It'll probably go away over time. But let's go ahead and switch over to our other guy that I've shown you, Cyberdax, who is also in the clandestine service, but he's a cyborg, and so we have to use different tactics to get people. His stealth is great, as he has a special pair of stealth legs that give him superhuman ability to be really stealthy, and then he has a pair of super speedy legs, so he can run really fast. And I just have arms, basically, one for thieving and dex increase, so he can use his samurai sword better. And I think the other is also for like lockpicking and stuff. So it gives basically great bonuses to clandestine service-y type stuff. So here we go. Here's our legs. And then we got our stealth legs here. So we're going to go and switch our legs off from the running legs to the stealth legs. And the idea here is, instead of using disguise, we're just going to stay under cover, and we'll find where the Traders Guild house is. Here it is. And we'll run in there. It's nighttime, so they should be asleep. We're going to go and snatch them and run out before they even know what's going on. And they slammed the door in my face in just a nick of time, so I guess we're going to have to try to pick the lock. Unfortunately, lock-picking skills are not up there with Lars, as Cyberdax is kind of a newer guy. He actually used to be a dust bandit who attacked the hub and totally just got destroyed by us, lost his arms and legs in fighting us. But we decided to save him and make him a cyborg if he decided to join us, which he did. And so we've been building his stats up ever since and putting him out on missions. So anyway, that's his backstory. I don't know if you guys care. But we got spotted right away. 3 guys at the front door. But the thing is, they just think I'm a regular trespasser. As, again, like I said, we paid that money to repair our relations with the Traders Guild, so they don't see us as an enemy. They just see me as a trespasser. But the idea here is we're going to run upstairs real quick. We'll throw our stealth back on. We're going to snatch this slave, Mistress Wren, and run out the door before they even know what's going on. As our stealth should be so good, they won't even be able to see who's over my shoulder. Got him. Alright, they're unconscious for 96. Let's go ahead and grab their cash. They'll pay for some of our extra expenses of getting out here. It's a pretty nice little stack of change. Regular robes, we got a couple things like the boots. Oh, another metal. Nice. This is a great little weapon for somebody. So we'll see if we can gift that to somebody when we get back to town. And we'll go ahead and give Slave Mistress Wren her prison meat. That's where she's going to be going to as soon as we get out of here. My weapon's pretty good. I got an edge type 2 that we made in the hub, or Peak Top Forge to be more specific. Got a couple weapon manufacturers out there that make some great stuff. So we were able to run out of the house. No one even saw us because we're under stealth. They know someone's there, but they can't see that I have kidnapped Slave Mistress Wren. And out I go. Yellow means that they can kind of see me, but basically like warning, but red is the only time they'll actually be able to see my character doing something. So like a phantom, I swept in, grabbed Slave Mistress Wren, and got her. I guess we're going to go ahead and head back instead of going to the fortress or way station fort. I think we're going to head all the way back to the hub, and we'll throw her in our prison there, as we have a pretty big prison at the hub. Throw our running legs back on, and we'll head up that way. That should get us there in no time. And there's our arms too. Alright, let's head back up northwest, and hopefully we won't run into any problems. There's Slave Mistress Wren. She got her clothes on, and now she's in the prig. We got back and threw her in the slammer. And they give me the old obligatory, "You'll regret this." Mark my words, you'll regret this. Let's see what else she has to say. Free me, and maybe I won't kill you. Wow, this one's a little cocky, isn't she? Well, this has been a pretty successful run, and I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here, as it's already been over a half hour of me playing. But I figure it's a good place to stop, and next time I'll be playing some Kenshi 365. Hope you guys will come back and join me for that. Please like the video, thumbs up. Appreciate you guys being here. Leave me a comment, too, down below. I'd appreciate that, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.